Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody today? Brother John Stewart, on behalf of Lost Sheep Ministries, here to take y'all on another little walk with the word for today. Today, we're going to have another lesson out of Psalms. I'm still in the book of Psalms, in the between Psalms and Samuel and Chronicles, all those kind of run together when you go in a chronological order. And I was reading again, and David, my guy David hit me with another powerful thought. So tonight, I'm going to bring y'all some verses from Psalm chapter 19, verses 12 through 14. So in Psalm 19, 12 through 14, the Lord tells us this. It says, who can understand his errors? Clean thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then I shall be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Oh, what a request. That's a prayer right there. What a request. And that's why I love Psalms. Psalms really help you get an understanding, because there are songs that David, most of them David wrote, but there's others that's wrote as well. But the ones that we've been covering the last few days have been from David, and it really helps you get an understanding of why they call David a man after the Lord's own heart. Because when you look at this prayer, you see that his true desire was to please God. And as you read through Psalms and the things that he asked God for, the things that he trusts God for, you see everything he did was because of his desire to please God. Because you look at this prayer, he starts off by keeping it real. You know, he keep it 100 with God. He's like, man, and he's humble with it. He's like, how can I really know all the filth in my heart? Lord, like, who can really know all the filth in my heart? You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we have to worry about as Christians. You don't want to get caught up in the not me. You know, it's so easy to look at other people's sins and see other people's doing that. You're married and you see a guy cheat on his wife, like, man, I would never cheat on my wife. Or if a wife, I would never cheat on my husband. You know what I'm saying? It's really easy to say not me, but in reality, we don't know what we're capable of until we're put in those situations. You never know what you'll do. So David understood this. He knew there could possibly be a weakness there. So he started out like, hey, I don't know what's all in my heart. So then he asked the Lord, cleanse me from those things. He said, cleanse me from these secret faults. Then he goes a step farther and he asked the Lord to keep him from presumptuous sins. And what those are sins that you know what you're doing. You know you're not supposed to be doing. Those are the bad habits, the things that you just can't seem to never get away from. You know you're not supposed to be doing it, but you're doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all with cigarettes and liquor and the drinking and the drugs and alcohol and the women and the men or whatever. Those are presumptuous sins. You know you're not supposed to be doing it, but you're doing it anyway. So he's like, keep me from those, so those don't have control over me. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have control. And help me have some self-control, Lord. Man, that's a prayer right there. You know, and that's what you got to understand. That's the kind of stuff the Lord wants us to desire. That's the kind of stuff God wants to desire. You know what I'm saying? When we go to prayer in him, we should be praying for ourselves. We should be praying for more power, more material things, a longer life, and things that's going to benefit us. We should be praying for the ability to live a life that pleases God. That's the kind of prayers that get his attention. You know what I'm saying? So that's what David did. He said, man, first of all, keep me from unknown sin, because I don't know everything that I'm capable of. Keep me from deliberate sin, so they don't have control of me. And I know that if I can stay away from unknown sin and I can stay away from deliberate sin, then guess what? I can avoid the great sin. You see what I'm saying? Then he finishes by asking the Lord to make him acceptable in his sight. He said, you know what I'm saying? He said, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. He didn't say, let me be acceptable in the sight of men or acceptable in the sight of the world, because you can look at the world standards and men's standards, and you know what I'm saying? Even with me, I might look like a pretty good guy. But again, like we talked about yesterday, you look at God's standards, then we know there's it's filthy rags. So that's how he ended off by asking to let me be acceptable in thy sight, not the world. So if you want to be like David, if you want to be out here chasing the heart of God, then you're going to have to pray for the ability to be able to do so. And that It's your little walk with the word for the day. So I hope y'all are being blessed. If y'all want to hear my full sermons because you're being blessed by these little ones, you can always look me up. I preach Facebook Live Monday nights at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then I post on my YouTube page a few days later. If you go to lostsheepministries.com, you have all my little social media outlets. You can get there through my website because I don't know all the little tags and all that stuff. And of course, if you don't know 100% you're going to heaven, you go through the door called death, please hit me up and I'll put some time on my schedule to share the gospel with you. I love you guys. Remember to always watch your back and pray. Until next time, peace.